Welcome back to New Amsterdam Radio, the podcast for creatives. It is I, the mayor, Flobo Boyce, in the mayor's office, hanging with people who are doing the dang thing. And those of you who listen to my show long term knows for some reason they let me graduate film school. But we have ourselves a real filmmaker in the building. Please welcome the original Shelby Baggins, Shelby Ring. What's up?
Oh my gosh. Flobo, thank you so much for having me today. This is amazing. Wow, I mean, I'm loving the ambience of us being in New Amsterdam. It is fantastic. That coffee down the street was amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I appreciate that. The yes ending means a lot to me. But can we talk about the studio you're in right now? I mean, it's well lit. I mean, what is this going on? 3-point, 4-point ring of fire? What's
Oh,
this?
snap, dog. I mean, we got hair lights. We got like a carnivorous plant light over here. We got ambience. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got lights.
Is it
Okay.
real? The carnivorous plants?
No,
Oh yeah,
because this
mine's
room is
fake too.
blacked out all the time. I thought about it, and one of my dearest friends is totally a plant nerd, and he's like giving me the scientific names of the best carnivorous plants for this type of environment, and I was like, I don't want to knock it over on accident, but anyway, I like that it's aggressive.
Yeah.
Like don't I don't like it. It's gonna bite my finger off. So
Absolutely. Plants that eat other animals is straight up out of Pokemon, bro. Like I'm not even
yeah, oh my gosh,
not even lying.
evolution of Bulbasaur. Yeah.
Yeah. So my personal question, you are Ruby Riot Creative. What does that mean and how did the name come about?
Ooh, I love this question. So we rebranded in 2018. I've been in business for 11 years, but at the time there was 4 of us on staff. I brought my team in for the rebranding process. My former production name was inspired by a soon-to-be ex-fiance's last name. Pro
Mhm.
tip, don't name your brand after someone that you're in a relationship with, where you're like,
Oh,
oh my God, then when we get married, it's going to be all cute. Yeah, don't do that. So
yeah.
anyway, we're doing this rebrand, and everyone loved the ruby, the symbolism of it. We were doing luxury events at that time, so we wanted something that seemed lateral to that industry. There's folklore of people would try to steal rubies and they would put it in their pocket, and then
Yeah.
the truth of it would like shine through and people would have to give these rubies back. So loved the symbolism with the stone. Riot, this is my favorite part, was so my team was international, and even though we had various backgrounds, walks of life, upbringings, we're like talking, we're like, yo, did y'all all have that like teenage question authority, punk rock, get a bunch of piercings, want tattoos phase? And
Yeah.
like everyone on my team was like, duh, like we never graduated out of that. And
Yeah.
so we're like, dude, freaking Riot, like we got to keep like the punk rock in our name. So we brought Riot because also the core of that is questioning, why do we do something the way that we've always done it? So it's like innovation comes from this kind of questioning the way that it's always been. So Riot and then creatives,
Yeah.
because we don't just work behind the camera, we also help with brand narratives. We do script writing, fractional creative director services. So we needed a nice, pretty adjective that would make sense. And that was 3 words. So
Yeah. What are the odds? Everyone was like, yeah. Not one accountant in your group was like, you know what? I like authority. Like, really?
dude, it was so awesome. I mean, literally, like one of our staff members, was based in the Philippines, and her walk of life, she's like, oh, I'm still metal. That has never changed. And
Yeah.
it was such an amazing, coming from Austin, Texas, where I'm from, and yet also on the other side of the world, people still valuing, yeah, why do we do this the way we do? And just that free thinking energy. I love that.
Are you an Austin original?
You know what? Born and raised. Born
Whoa.
in my house that my parents still live in here in Austin. Home, baby.
Yeah.
What's up? That's weird.
I've only had the pleasure of visiting Austin once, and I loved it. I mean, I'm not here to like the rag on your city. I loved it, but then you hear things after the fact where like the not in my backyard and too many Californians and
Oh,
it's
man.
full. Is that
Yeah.
really a thing or?
Oh, the old like don't California my Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's real. Like it's impressive. Some of the circles that I run in, it's a lot of the tech community here, and it's legitimately like entire neighborhoods from SF moved here. I mean, because I understand their logic because their entire industry became based here. So Yeah, people want to hate. I moved back here in 2021. It's I think that honestly after the pandemic, anywhere that's worth being, people became aware of it and they moved there.
Yeah,
So be my perspective is just be celebratory that we're not a cesspool and that
sure.
there's an innovative spirit that's continuing to enrich our city.
Austin, Texas. We're not a cesspool. Love it. Hotbed for creative arts. I mentioned in the teaser that I am a film school graduate. I went to Chapman University. They let me go. They let me graduate. What the hell were they were thinking? But
Ooh.
talk to me about the community now, because 15, 20 years ago, it was like utopia. It's like somewhere beyond the rainbow. It's Austin, Texas. There's Voodoo Donuts. There's 36. There's Robert Rodriguez. Is that still the case or has it changed?
Oh my gosh. I have to approach my hometown like it's a city I've never lived in before because there's so many pockets, there's so many restaurants, the dining, just the whole industry of it, and just the pockets of people. That's the thing. I'm coming in with a big open mind of recognizing I might know the road system, but there's you can find whatever pocket of society you want. If you want to, I went to an ecstatic dance party last night and you just go off and there's a bunch of hippy dippy people enjoying themselves to like EDM music sober. Like it's whatever, pocket of society you want to be a part of. There's it's I love that it's an intelligent city. I love that it's bringing people that are I love ideas. So as far as, agree, disagree, whatever, I'm constantly learning things when I go out and attend supper clubs or just different pockets. I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about, but I'm taking notes and I've learned, random things about carnivorous plants. So
Yeah.
it's a really fun time to be alive in Austin.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how much hippy dippy are you?
Ooh, wow, I love this metric of hippy dippy. Back in the day, my teenage years, I could be found with a djembe drum walking around downtown to find a drum circle.
No, not you, Shelby. Not you too.
It was me. It was me. I was at Eeyore's birthday. It was me. I had one of those tie-dye skirts that doesn't look good on anyone unless you're like 90 pounds. Yeah, I was one of those people. And then, I don't know, I lived in the Caribbean a while. Then I cooked at hunting camps. I got into, enjoying eating what is captured, and I think I'm a modernized hippie these days, if you can call it that. I'm surrounded by all this technology. I feel like I would be a hypocrite to say that I'm a hippie. I'm
Ah,
a I'm a hip. I wish I could make a better alliteration of a hippie hypocrite.
I love it. I was on board the entire time. I was like, play it works. I love it. Well, I saw here in your bio that you were formerly a yacht chef, and I wonder because I know, one thing is food, but like, does the actual location of where you cook require other skills? I was a little confused.
Ooh, beautiful question. So I started off as a third mate, then a second mate, and then, not graduated, but ended up working as a first mate
Let's go
on,
first, mate.
yeah, yeah, first mate on monohull sailboats, then scaled into catamarans, so the two-hulled sailboats. And what transitioned in that world was one, I went through a divorce, so I needed a little bit of a trajectory change. But the other part of that was in the charter yacht world, the crew of those boats, they take up to 8 guests out for 8 to 10 days at a time, and in that time it's just captain and chef slash first mate. So they were flying chefs down from the US, putting them in a 45 to 65 foot sailing vessel. And if you've ever seen the galleys or the kitchens of those types of environments, it's like a folding card table and you're cooking for 8 people, 10 people. So they realized that just bringing people that are credentialed chefs down and expecting to roast things for 3 hours in an oven that's propane. You have a limited amount of resources of propane. You got to do things on the fly. When your captain bangs on the top of the roof, you got to run upstairs in the middle to help him drop the anchor and grab. I mean, there's a lot going on. It is not your typical kitchen environment. So
Yeah.
they switched the program and went from, they basically were like, can you make a grilled cheese and trim sails? And I said, yes.
Fantastic. I was about to say, I mean, that's a job I think I would do like a day and be like, you know what, Paradise, I'm over it. I'm gonna head back home.
Yeah, it was an amazing time of adventure because it's also, even when you're sleeping, there's a part of you that's always on. Like, we had one of the boats I worked on the longest, we ran the generator at night, so our guests had air conditioning, but it would have some type of strange fuse issue that when it would start to power down, when it cut down, the power would drain so fast that if we didn't shut it down within 15 seconds, it would fry the whole circuit board. So in the
Whoa.
middle of the night, you're in a dead sleep and you hear this, and when it shuts down, you have to get out of your coffin at the front of the boat, get out, climb out, haul butt down a slippery side of a boat, and then go hit the kill switch. So never a dull moment. Highly recommend it.
Can I ask how long this section of your career was? Like, it's like,
Yes. I did that for 4 years. So I lived on the charter yachts for 2 years. Yeah, it was an adventure. It was a number of different
oh my gosh.
boats, lots of travel, lots of going through different islands. It was a
Yeah.
beautiful moment.
It was. So, do you miss it, or is it?
What I've come to realize is, one, after the pandemic, the British Virgin Islands, where I predominantly worked, they've changed a lot of their visa requirements. So if you want to go and island hop over there now, it is 10x what it used to be to just come over and have a visa to be there for a week, 2 weeks. So recognizing that an entire industry and the culture of it, like coming up to anchorages and there being so many different vessels there, your friends there, just other tourists, that sense of camaraderie has shifted and it essentially no longer exists in the way that I experienced it. So
Yeah.
my answer to that is I appreciate the fondness of those memories and I can recognize that it's something beautiful that is a memory. It's not something that I can try to mull back up and bring back to life. So I'm really thankful for those times.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how many times you have a? Well, actually, my next question is this: you go to a party and someone asks, "What do you do?" It's kind of hard to wrap up all of your experiences into a line or an elevator pitch, and I have struggled with that myself. What do you tell people when you say, "Hey, what do you do?" or what are you skilled at?" without going through a whole laundry list of things you're actually badass at?
Well, I just tell them I'm a chief cat herder and I tell stories. That's the easiest thing. On my business cards, my official title is the chief cat herder
Wow.
because with putting together productions for clients or whichever workflow of it, it does feel like herding cats when it comes to shoot days. And the biggest thing is whatever we're doing, I'm always doing my best to tell really great stories worth telling. So the easiest thing is I like to tell stories.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I
yeah.
mean, I'm with that. So, Ms. Baggins, serious question. When you have a client, and I guess you are established enough where you can like basically craft your client list to something you could find with clients that you work best with, what do you look for in someone who may not know what they want or vibes is like the actual scope of work? What's the main thing you look for to find a client you can actually work with?
Ooh, beautiful questions, Flobo. You're just bringing in good questions just left and right. All
Your
right.
time is valuable. You got to get
Hey,
going.
hey, we got to get going. Okay, so my favorite client in the whole universe is an organization that's been open 3 to 5 years, mid-sized business. Ideally, if they have over 15 employees, they are rocking and rolling. The sweet spot for our business and our video production business model is rather than hiring a contractor one off every 6 months and hope that it works out for what you need for your content, we come in as a fractional creative director. So we come in as an extension of your entire C-suite. So your chief marketing officer and myself become best friends. And whatever the creative vision is for the system you have for marketing, we're the visual extension of that. So
Oh,
we love long-term relationships. We love being able to work with clients year after year, and it takes the guesswork out on both sides, where you build a rhythm with, okay, what are we shooting this quarter? Okay, you're in products. We're coming up to the seasons right now we're shooting for holiday sales. So being able to plan those things in tail end of summer, coming into fall, no guesswork. That sings, my soul is very happy in that
Yeah.
type of relationship.
So, a question for the chief cat herder here, right? So you found the you find the client you love. You said it yourself, by your own admission, you have a team full of rebels. How do you, as the chief in charge, like deal with personalities and deadlines? And hey, I had a vision. The thing I said it was approved is all now wrong. Do it over, client over client, year over year, quarter over quarter.
Beautiful question. So I love to make sure it's a good fit where people genuinely want our creative energy. You can hire a worker bee to just do what you think they should do, or you can hire a company that can take your vision and 10x it and keep track. I mean, we obsess with the world of video. So instead of a client saying, oh, I think I'm just going to do a talking head founder video and I'm going to wear a hot pink blazer because that speaks outrageous for our niche, they may not realize that there's 30 other people wearing pink blazers, and that was done 3 years ago. It's old news. So instead saying, why don't we do an entire showcase of 8 women that are your ideal client avatar, and we deck them out in the themes of time, money, you name it, and let's turn them into entities. That's going to stop people's tracks. That's going to spark curiosity as we drop into your product launch. So it works really well when from the get-go, people value having a creative at the front and center when it comes to visual marketing today, because holy cow, people's attention spans are all of 3 milliseconds. So it's a different landscape. And I think it actually is really beautiful for those of us that are in the video production world, because creativity is essential. Just thinking outside of the box, using humor. You have to invoke emotion. It's no more just fearing people into things or just the talking head thing. You have to make it playful and you have to make it fun. And people are starving for more fun, more joy in their life, in their social media feed. So if you can brighten somebody's day, that affiliation of, oh, this is what this company brings to the world, it's a recipe for success.
I'm actually gonna make a note here. Shelby Ring, pink blazer hater. Okay, I'm gonna add that on there for later.
Going to wear it later in the interview. Throw it out of the shot.
About to go to, yeah, exactly. Fly it out. Well, talking about costumes and ideation. Before we went live, you were talking about you're actually developing a masterclass with a certain particular theme. Tell me more.
Oh, yes. So we are launching a masterclass called An Offer That Can't Refuse: The
Bada
Art
boom.
of the On-Camera Interview. Okay, so it's a masterclass specifically for introverted male tech founders on how to not be awkward on camera. And I'll give you a context of why this is something that we're doing. We've worked with these major powerhouse companies for years and years. We work with these amazing marketing companies, and they butter up the client. They're like, all right, guys, we're going to do this. It's going to level up your stuff. They think through all the details in terms of deliverables, the type of content. But nobody told the founder what to wear, what to do with his hair, what's the environment he's going to be in. Has anybody ever really watched the way he speaks on camera, or does he have a track record of being on camera? Is he a lip licker? Is he, what are his mannerisms?
Ooh.
And how can you refine this person that's often the poster child of your business, or even your team, when you're doing a multiple round of each person and their expertise? So this is everything marketing directors fail to tell their clients to ensure the money they put towards video marketing packs a punch and they don't cringe at it at the end of it. So it's a very fun Godfather film themed masterclass. There are Lots of weapons on the tables for various modules. We keep it interesting. I did dress up like Don Corleone. I tried to get Mama Cat, my tabby cat, to act in one of the scenes with me. She opted out, so I had to green screen her in. Anyway, it's a hoot.
So I gotta ask this because I'm what they call an ambivert, right? I'm like extroverted until sundown.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
love it.
but what exactly specifically afflicts male introverts as opposed to female ones, or there isn't, or this is the
Yes.
niche of the project, or
Okay, so this is what's beautiful. Most of these insane tech wizard guys that I know, they are these, in terms of building products, coding, building the engineering system, they are legends in their own right. The thought of them needing to give attention to their appearance, to, these mundane things. Why should I care? Why do I need to talk about what I eat for breakfast? No one needs to know I eat oat milk and oatmeal. That doesn't make any sense. Why do I have to talk about this? Why are you asking me these questions? My beautiful tech autists, that's a term that I've learned from them that might have a bit of the autism. This is a way to humanize them and to help them also in a very practical, direct way understand the things that the general public are deducting from who they see on the screen, what they're doing, what's the cadence of how they speak. If they are super sarcastic and it's hitting like a ton of bricks to the face, what can you do with your face to clearly communicate that you are in jest versus really upsetting a huge part of your market because you don't know how to deliver a joke on video. So this is it's a hand holding through some things that seem obvious, some things that are pretty profound, but ultimately help my amazing founder friends relax, and at the end of a shoot they feel accomplished and they feel like they were able to lead that experience versus it happened to them. Because I have heard enough horror stories of friends that they drop a bunch of cash to do a campaign. And I mean, we had a client that was signed up to work with us. I was super amped. She does this insane design work. Her PR company, and mind you, she's heavily an introvert, and her PR agency was like, "Oh, we're at this amazing leather shop right now. Let's just go live and let's do a little quick interview. This will be good for your social." She got so locked up and it was such a traumatic experience. She literally walked away from our entire campaign of doing anything on camera.
wow.
And I share that unfortunate circumstance because it is terrifying being on camera and having lights on you and having people expect you to perform in a certain way. And it does feel like you're under a microscope. So the biggest thing that when we produce something, one, people may not always remember the words that you said, but they will always remember the way you made them feel. So whenever we're producing, I always want to make sure that the person that's in front of our cameras, as well as their team, because those are their freaking rocket ships that are making things come together, I want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable, understands the cadence, the expectations, and that it's a freaking great day because it's cool. They're like a rock star for the day, and we want them to feel that way. So that's why we're targeting our male introverted tech founders, because typically these sets of behaviors don't come natural to them. They didn't care to be the next Justin Bieber. They were busy building their empire in their basement playing D&D. So it's a clashing of worlds.
Yeah, that's way better than my idea of this me yelling at people. Yo, wash your face and yo, put on that shirt.
Yeah.
A new series coming soon. It's a disaster class from your boy.
Disaster class. Oh my god.
Uh, so it said here that you're also an advocate for women in business, and this is something that is a lot of people think at the surface level. Oh yeah, women in business, bada boom, who cares? But like there really is a dearth of depending what segment you're talking about, actual businesses led, empowered by the female perspective. What's been your experience? How are you building on that? What's your journey been like?
Ooh. Well, there was a good amount of time in my business that I exclusively was like, we are a girl gang. It is the girls club. And all my staff was exclusively women. And I mean, I guess the humanity of that side of our business was recognizing, for me, I chose to work for myself because I valued autonomy over my time and my energy. When my energy slumped during the day, I never agreed with you need to work 8 consecutive hours and that's your output, that's your measure for productivity. So with my team, I mean, we've dialed it in all the way into, and this may be TMI, but also if you're a woman leading business, this is something that I know other women would appreciate. But we give care to, okay, your cycle, your monthly cycle. If you're having a day that, your emotions are out of whack, go care for yourself because you're going to do better results, better work. You're going to be inspired when you come back and you're going to feel really held. I think that women thrive when they know that they are supported as an individual. And so most of my team, my leadership through the years has been tailored towards I want to see the end product. I don't judge the messy creative process unless I'm touching your edits. If I have to get into your Final Cut Pro library, I better understand what you did. But beyond that space, being able to just, hey, here's the timeline, here's the fail-safe dates, here's the open conversation for let me know what you need along the way, but I don't like to be micromanaged, and so I do my best to create, a pro tip is create a deadline that's a false deadline that your staff doesn't know about, but it gives them a grace of 24, 48, 72 hours so that if there's those micro adjustments, because there will be, it's not the end of the world and you can still offer ease in the times of fine tuning and collaborating together. So I think that that's been a big part is recognizing everybody as an individual. I know that for my new hires, I make them take the Strength Finders test. It's an old Tom Rath, I think is the author. There's like 52 different archetypes of your top strengths. It's the top 5 or the top 15, but someone may be an activator and then someone else may be a great idea generator, and those two people often need to work together. So I'm a big fan of celebrating each person as an individual and catering to their strengths, and then where they might suck at stuff, then how do we build fail safes to support them?
Yeah, I always like to have fail safe for my suckitude. It means a lot to me.
You're
Yeah,
suck a dude. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I love
absolutely.
it.
We're chatting with Shelby Ring, Ruby Riot Creatives, and well, I got to transition a little bit here on New Amsterdam Radio. We have a bit of department questions, a lightning round, if you will. I get to ask some offbeat questions. Let me know if you're down to play. If no one's ever said no, but I have to give you a chance to opt out if you're not really feeling it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so usually I ask my guests what's their favorite junk food, but I heard you're a fried chicken connoisseur.
Oh,
Where do you get your best hookup for fried chicken?
Oh man, fried chicken these days. I'm gonna go. Oh god, I'm gonna sound so basic, but the Devil's Chicken, Chick-fil-A.
That the devil's chicken. It's not even open
Yeah,
on Sundays. How's
I know. That's why it's the Devil's.
Have a
'Cause
blessed day, okay?
yeah. I need that ice cream cone. I need the waffle fries. No, that's been the chicken as of late.
Yeah. Are you with pickles or without?
Ooh. I'm a huge pickle fan just
Okay.
altogether, so
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. I
I'm
like
more of a
pickles, yeah.
tendies. I order the tendies though. I'm not really a chicken sandwich girl.
Whoa, you don't
Yeah.
do the classics? Wow. A kind of
No.
class. I like
Get
that.
that bread out of the way. Get that bread. I just need a lot of tendies.
Okay, maybe you are 90% hippy dippy. I have no idea.
I'm listening.
What is left as of right now on your travel bucket list?
Oh, I have been fixated on Istanbul lately because it's known as a place where they celebrate cats. Cats are
Oh,
seen as fellow citizens of their communities.
okay.
And I'm so curious I would just like to experience that in person. I have some friends that have gone and snapped pictures of these exchanges. I heard a quote that there's dogs think that their owners often are like God, but cats don't perceive their owners as God, but they know there's a sense of the divine. I'm completely butchering that, but I loved that
Yeah.
context of cats are like, oh, you feed me and whatnot, but also you're not the everything. I love that.
For those of you in the audio version, Shelby had mentioned Istanbul, and I cracked up only because like that's usually the answer guys would say because that's where you get your hair transplants. So I was like, where is she gonna go with
Oh,
this? Oh, cats. That makes
the old cats.
sense.
Hey, or how do you think they get all that hair over there for the
That's what I'm
transplants?
saying. So I went full circle.
Cats. Yeah.
Do you consider yourself self-made? Why or why not?
Oh, ooh, this is a play on words. I feel like in spite of myself and because of myself, I am where I am today. And also, I could not be there without a series of good, bad, and ugly events that got me here.
Mhm.
So I don't completely resonate with that statement because I think that there's so many ways that you could dig it up. I think that my final answer is because of the good, bad, and ugly that
You
I have experienced. It has positioned me to where I am today.
so you are. You say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's an open-ended question because you can interpret that
Yeah.
forever. Yeah.
Ooh, I know. I want to ponder that.
I got two more for you. I swear to you, one of them isn't that bad. One of them may be. Do you consider yourself a good boss? Why or why not?
Oh, I'm probably a shitty boss because I let people have their autonomy. And so I think that by traditional standards, I think that people could take advantage of that. But I'm not going to check up on that. I'm just going to look for their results. So I feel like, in terms of if I'm a good boss, I just really celebrate autonomy. So, and also, I mean, if someone doesn't keep up with that, then I stop working with them. So there's that.
Yeah. And lastly, everybody collects something. What do you collect?
Oh, God. I collect. I was gonna say cats, but that's so stupid. But I literally have 5 cats right now just by happenstance. And we were before the call. I was like, one of my cats came back. No, I don't want to be affiliated as that's too many cat references. Everything I've talked about is cats.
Cats are cool. I think I would be a cat person, but I'm allergic. But I feel like of the two, cats or dogs, I'd be more of a cat person.
Yeah, they're sassy. I think that I'm a collector. I'm a collector of quotes, actually. That is what I'm going to go with. I have been collecting one-liners from my loved ones for 7 or 8 years, and it makes me so happy. And I put the entire context of the moment. Can I read you one?
Please, yeah.
Ooh, okay. All right, let's see here. We're going lightning round, instant quotes. Let's see. So I'm going to end it with a quote and a dash. Okay.
This is interesting because usually in place of the last question about what do you collect, I say what's a motto you live by, but you collect so many epigraphs and grams that you can apply it to both.
Yeah. So here's a quote. I'll eat a couple of hot dogs watching those boys. Anna Marcella at Crust Pizza before seeing I Saw the TV Glow at the Terrace Theater regarding some cute baseball players involved with the Savannah Bananas. June 9th.
I was expecting Confucius, but I guess those are also quotes.
It's so good. They're
Shout out to the Savannah
ridiculous.
Bananas.
Okay, another one. We were a vitamin D fortified family. Like, what kind of quote is that?
You guys went to the beach a lot? Is that what it is?
It was regarding childhood cereal intake comparisons with my partner while sitting in the grocery store parking lot stalling to buy a lemon instead of seeing our friends and reflecting on the 90s horrendous lapse of parental and cultural judgment on feeding children grain, sugar, and milk for breakfast.
You know what? Most CEOs end up writing a book. I would actually read that one though.
Yeah.
That one's actually pretty fun.
It's ridiculous.
Well, speaking of ridiculous, we're at the end of the episode here on New Amsterdam Radio, the podcast are good. Now, here's the fun part. If somebody wanted to contact you, book you, learn more about you personally and professionally, how do they go about doing that?
go to our website, rubyriotcreatives.com. That is Ruby like the stone, riot like a big party, and creatives like a group of artists, plural.com. And if you go to rubyriotcreatives.com/interview, you can get 15% off of our masterclass on the art of being on camera using the promo code Flobo Baggins. So that's Flobo with Baggins.
Or there you go. The promo code changed overnight, but I like it. I like it. I want to see how it works out. We'll love to have you on a future episode as your outfit grows. Plus, I need to I would say recommendations for next time I go to Austin. So let me know what's good. Yes, this is Knew Amsterdam Radio, the podcast for creatives. Let's have a good one.
Thank you, Flobo.